you're still good, right? I want to make this because I discuss these conversations quietly and I realize that they need to come in the mainframe, so I bring them in the mainframe. I am working with new people on my coaching program, and the new people I'm working with on my coaching program, those people are giving me information that makes it necessary to bring this in the mainframe. Look, progress is the long haul. It's not a short trip. It's a marathon, not a sprint. What we are all setting ourselves to do. It's not a sprint. I think a lot of people come into this thinking that it's going to be a 100-meter race. No. It's a 10,000 meter race. It's a long trip. And so, those who come prepared, those who come mentally prepared, those who come prepared with resources, those ones they survive. If you've ever seen good marathon runners, they already have their food prepared and they have it at vantage points. It is in a format that is easily accessible, so some of them will take it as a bar and they will eat it whilst they run. Some of them will take it as a liquid, but they will have it ready and it is all prepared and it's balanced. You know, when I was a kid and I watched the Olympics, I thought it was just water. And I wondered why, if you get there and you can't get your water, why can't you get somebody else's water? No, it's not water. No, it's electrolyte combinations that are carefully worked out for those who know what they are about to expend and who know what to replenish. Those who get that formula right, they get invigorated again. They get a burst of energy when they imbibe this and they move forward, and those are the ones who are likely to win. Those who don't prepare, you run out of steam in the middle of the project, and it's the same thing as the progress one. Progress is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a 10-second sprint. In a 10-second sprint, you can run with everything you have. By the time you run out of resources, the race would have come into it, and you can collapse and you can recover. It's not like that. It's not like that. And so you must find your fuel on this progress journey. Something that makes you want to do this. Something that makes you so desperately want to do this. Something that reminds you constantly why you must do this. For most of you, it's your pensions. Your pensions are not sacred the way you thought. Some of you haven't even had the common sense to get the useless pensions that exist. I know 50-something-year-olds who don't have decent pensions. Poverty is coming. That needs to remind you daily why you've got to work on this. That needs to chase you. That needs to scare you to move. That's your fuel. For those of you in your mid-40s, late 40s, 50s who still don't have a strategic plan, you know your pension is not good enough. You are relying on state pension. That's poverty guaranteed. You don't have a home of your own. You don't have a good pension pot. So you will need to continue to pay rent in your pensions and you will not be able to work. Honey. If that doesn't motivate you enough to move, then I don't know what else. But that is your fuel. Running away from pension poverty, that is your fuel. For some of you, like me, it is university fees. For me, university fees have been my fuel for such a long time. We've had to make some changes for my son around his residence arrangement here and moving forward and whatnot. And making these decisions have cost quite a lot of money this last week in particular. But, you know, some of the things that we had done in the past definitely stood well and helped to make this work. And I remember thinking last night actually, thank God for reserves. Thank God for reserves, because sometimes when you go on these journeys, you don't know what is about to happen. And I was just thinking to a period in my life when I had no reserves, I had no fallbacks. That would have been a very horrific experience. But fortunately, thankfully for reserves. And so for me, the fuel is university fees, reserve creation, and preserving lifestyle even when I ease off work. Yeah, I need to ease off work. I cannot continue the way I have, the way I am. I cannot continue. My body is already telling me that I cannot continue. My spirit is telling me that I cannot continue. I need to ease off and make life better for myself. I need a better life balance. That is my fuel. And for that reason, when I go to work today, I'm clinical in finishing things off at work. When I finish with work, I am clinical in getting things done. That is for my business. I'm clinical in getting things done because I am aware of what I need to do. It's been very difficult as you win to sustain yourself, and you need to find new fuel. The things that used to drive me 2 years ago don't even tickle me this year. If I think about the things that I used to think about 2 years ago, they don't bother me. 2 years ago, my greatest fear was having 2 children in the university. And September coming round, when school fees need to be settled, so children can register, so children can fly. I've been doing that 2 years now. 2 years. I'm coming to the end of that cycle. The fear of university fees is no longer enough fuel for me. But the desire to live well, the need to ease off, to build something better for myself, to tolerate less BS. Happy Friday, Tony. The desperate need to step away from BS is my new fuel, Augustina. And that desperate need to step from BS is doing me a world of good. It's doing me beautiful. It's helping me to get up and to knuckle down and get things done. It's getting me to stop procrastinating and do stuff. And so I ask you this question: what are your sources of fuel for this journey? What are you running from? Is often a good place. Hello, Miss Norma. Good morning. How you doing, sis? Yeah. What are you afraid of? What are you running from? Those tend to be good sources of fuel. Where are you heading towards? Where do you need to be? Those need to be those also tend to be very good fuels. Who are you fighting for? Who are you fighting for? Who are you working for? For me, the faces of my struggle have been my children for a long time. I have been working for those 2 people to settle. I have been working to give those people a life better than I had. I wanted to expose those children to the better things in life. Yes, Tony, we have worked so hard. We have worked so hard. And we are getting there. We are getting there. Thanks be to God, we are getting there. Yeah. My children have been the face of my fight for such a long time. Most of the time when I don't want to do things, I imagine a child and their school fees. I imagine a child, there's a child I tutor at the moment, and she's going to a New York trip. She's going to a trip in New York organized by school, and I was looking at her itinerary and I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah, I always wanted to be able to do that for my children, and so giving my children the elevated things. Yeah, you need to find your passions. You need to find the things you are running from. You need to find the places you are trying to get to. Those will be your fuels. When those things are so clear in your mind, you don't get tired. Oh, you don't feel tiredness. You don't hear naysayers. No, you don't. What you want to avoid chases you so fast that you cannot help but to run fast. So people will watch what I do and they would ask, how do you keep going? It's really simple. I know where I'm running from. I'm running from a full-time teaching job in the next 3 years maximum. I am running from that. I no longer want to be in the trenches full time. I want to elevate to other things. Yes, I would want to elevate to other things. I want to move from the trenches onto strategic places. That has been why I needed to get the qualifications I needed. So I needed to knuckle down and get the qualifications. And yes, no matter how tired I was, I needed to knuckle down and get the qualification I needed. Although I had worked a full shift and come back to do business and to do all the things that I needed to do, I still needed to settle down and get that done. Yeah, we have come very far by grace, Tony. Pure grace. Pure grace. I am so tired, Sister Ma. And I'm like, what? You are tired? Poverty is not tired, you know. You cannot be tired, because poverty doesn't get tired. School fees, it never gets tired. If you find a place where school fees is tired, call me. In my experience of 20-something years as a food bill, it never gets tired. If your children are at the age where mine are. Wilhelmina, how you doing, sis? Bills don't get tired, my dear. They don't get tired. You don't get tired. When my children are home in particular, it's easier for them to have my business card to move around. And all you hear is the ding, dong, dong, ding of a kid paying for this. The emails I'm getting from what they need to do. Somebody's laptop requires an update. Somebody's this. It is relentless. It is relentless. It does not stop. So how do you stop? When you are in a race against this, it will catch you. It will devour you. And if you don't want to be devoured, it's that simple. You run faster. You see, when you know this in your head, when you understand this in your heart, you do not even look to the left or to the right. You run because you know what is chasing you doesn't stop. How do you keep going? That's my secret. What is chasing me does not stop. What is chasing me is building momentum. I better build even more momentum. Heck, because I am going to outrun it, even if it's the last thing I do. I am going to outrun it because my life depends on it. It is an attitude so many of you who profess to want to go on the progressive journey don't seem to understand. I deal with so many people, and I deal with so many people, and I am stunned by how many people don't realize that this is a long haul flight. It's a long haul flight. It's not a short flight. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's the run of your life. It is a run of your life avoiding a scary thing. A scary, determined thing. A scary, determined, aggressive thing. Something which has a stronghold on you, and you are working to break a stronghold. And you want your work to break a stronghold to be chilled. Good luck when you figure out how to do that, call me. Because I so far have not figured how to do that chilled. What chases you doesn't tire. Tony, what pursues you doesn't pause. What wants to consume you is roaring behind you. And you want to relax and chill? Is that how it works? Well, I don't know. You are held down by shackles, pursued by jaws with aggressive teeth gnawing at you, and you want to sit and chill and rest? I cannot tell you what I don't know. I can only tell you the journey I know. Those of you who are here for the rose-scented candles, I am not your coach. That has not been my path. I have not found a Hamu, big fish, who will pay everything. I have not found Greece, which will wipe my bills. I have not found the easy route. So I cannot talk to you about it. I know some people do get it. I don't know the price they pay. I don't think I'm willing to pay it. What I know is the hard slug. That I know. I know digging yourself out by your own claws. That's one I know. I know how to push to gain traction. That's one I know. I don't know how it happens easier. I don't know how women bat their eyelids and they have the moon pulled out for them. I'm not one of those women. I don't know that formula. So I couldn't tell you. And I'm not going to say and lie to you. I can only tell you what I know. And the journey I know. The demons I run from. Those are scary demons. And when those people pursue you, it is better than any sports coach. Hey, you become an incredible sprinter when you turn behind and you see what is pursuing you. So you see, what pursues you is a great fuel. Having a picture of what pursues you is amazing. Turning behind every now and again to see what is coming full steam ahead is motivating. Hey, it motivates me. And hopefully, those of you who are on a similar journey, who are running from deep-seated things like me, would also recognize the places to look for reinforcements. I have never met a quick fix. Tony, I have never seen a shortcut. I have seen illusions of shortcuts that delay you and make your journey even longer. Wilhelmina, please do go and rest. You have school in the morning. School is not an easy place, is it? It's a tough place. Go and get some rest. Me today, I am in fighting spirit 1 because it's Friday, and here Fridays are good days. Friday is only a half working day. I know I'm just at work for a mini skirt day. And when I come back from my mini skirt day, the rest of the day that would have been spent working is going to be spent on my great escape. I have a lot of projects that I need creative genius to push through. I'm going to be working on that. Because that which pursues me has hit my bank account. The first kid is already settled in school. Her bills are paid. The second kid is about to go. His bills need to be paid. Woo. The little bit that needed to be done to facilitate the travel has devoured my bank account. I am in no illusions about what needs to be done in order to sustain what needs to happen. And so guess what? I'm so hardworking. I am so hardworking, not because I want to work hard. Hey, I am hardworking right now because my bank account has sent me the alerts. Ding ding, it's empty. It's empty. Dong dong. Somebody else is waiting to be paid with, yeah. Teaching in any school, Wilhelmina, is not fun. Working with young people who are emotionally unregulated is a struggle. Anytime in the school year, teaching is a tough job. But in term 1, teaching is a horrific job. Because you are now getting, so now almost 6 weeks after the children have been here, we are just finishing our 5th week. 6 weeks for me, 5 weeks for them. I am now beginning to get to places with my classes where the children are getting familiar with my routines. Oh, Miss like this. I hear children say, Miss, you don't like noise. No, I don't. I cannot think in noise. I cannot work in noise. All right, Miss, sorry. Miss, you like it to be done this way, right? Yeah. It takes conditioning. There are parents who have had their children 14, 15 years and couldn't raise them. But you have a few weeks to train these children and condition these children to work to your way and to take the outcomes you need to achieve. Tough job. So girl, go and sleep, rest, give yourself a break. If you want to scream, scream. This job is not for little kids. It's not for little kids. I hear parents all the time. And the teachers what? The children behave better for the teachers here because we have better structures. That's why. We have better routines. That's why. Creating those routines will cost you. So go and rest, my dear girl. Give yourself a break. You've earned it. Those of you who are running away from your careers, yeah, that should be enough. What I have just described to you is a great demon. The young ones are struggling. The not so young ones are struggling. Yesterday, I finished the class and I could not move. I could not move. When I was walking to my car, I could not move. I sat in my car for a good 20 minutes. I could not drive off. That was 2.5 hours after I had finished teaching for the day. I was free the last 2 periods. I did not recover. I sat through a meeting, did not recover. At the time when we were supposed to drive off, I could not move. I genuinely could not move. When you see things like that, when you see things like that, it should tell you some things. And it should start scaring you to start running. That is what has been tormenting me and firing me up for the last few years. I'm tired of studying. I'm tired. But what is pursuing me is not tired. I was just thinking, can you imagine 10 years from now, I will still be in the classroom chasing 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds. Even the 17, 18-year-olds. Chasing them, trying to get... And yeah, schools that have guaranteed me no middle school have now told me they cannot guarantee me no middle school. I'm in the trenches with middle school classes. That is not my talent. That is not my calling. I don't have the capacity to take on a room full of 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. I don't have the patience. I don't have the guts. I don't have the energy. And that is one of the things that has moved me to do things beyond all compulsion. That's my view. I'm very clear of the things. Auntie Shells, it's been a minute. It's good to see you. Yeah? That's what pursues me. So I ask you that question. What pursues you? When you know what pursues you, your run is much better. When you know the direction in which your pursuit is coming, you know where to run from and where to head towards. When you haven't got clarity on these things, you will waste a lot of energy, but you may not move in any particular direction. Yeah. Nestries, how are you doing? And Wonder. Yeah. You need to sit in your quiet closet. You need to be in your dark space. And you need to reveal the face of your demons very clearly to yourself. You need to be clear of what your demons are. You need to know the emergencies that exist in your life. You really need to know the places that you need to escape from. You need to know. You need to know that in 15 years' time, there's a pension crisis that you cannot run from. In 10 years' time, depending on your age, whatever the length is. If you are one who needs to be aware of a pension crisis, you need to know. Some of you have got an income crisis. What you are earning is not going to be able to sustain your life. Some of you have got a job crisis because you are about to lose your job, because what you do is going to be taken by AI and its cousins. Better skilled people and their cousins. Cheaper labor and their cousins. Because as you get older, especially those of you who are professionals, I had this conversation with a lot of my mates who are not finding work. And a lot of them hadn't figured out why they are not getting called after interviews. They are the most qualified, they are the most experienced, but nobody is calling you back after you've interviewed. And I have had to painstakingly explain to a few of them We are now too expensive for what we bring to the table. Yes, you do a little bit more than what a one body in the room does, but all they need is a one body in the room, really. Do they want to pay you at your rank just for you to be a warm body in the room, even if you bring extras? Not really. And so they will not hire you. They will hire a younger person. They will prefer the attitude of a younger desperate person, because a younger desperate person will tolerate more than you will. And a lot of us now have boundaries. A lot of us now have standards. Because you have standards and boundaries, it is difficult to work with you. So no, if they find a 25-year-old, 28-year-old, in comparison to me, it serves their agenda better to take. So people are not hiring my age, especially those of us who are now also wanting to step back down into the trenches. We are stepping back down to the trenches because we want to have the freedom. We've already built the career. We've run out of energy. Yeah. Various reasons. But there are many of us stepping back into the trenches. And you would have thought that wanting to step in the trenches will be well received by people. The world is changing. Stephen, the world is changing in ways that a lot of people are not appreciating, which is the sad part. You go into management, you find it stressful, your children grow, you don't need that much money, you don't want the shit, so you give it up and you come back to the trenches. And what most of us expect is that you come back to the trenches and you'll be well received. No, you won't. You come back to the trenches overpriced for what you do, overqualified for what you do. You make people uncomfortable. You do. Whether you know it and accept it or not, you do. And so, you need to be aware of what you're about to face so that you can plan a suitable strategy. If you're not aware of these things, if you haven't planned adequately, things will catch you by surprise. And when you are caught by surprise, tears will flow. You need to know so that you can plan. You need to understand so you can be strategic. Yeah. I have just arrived at work, so I'm going to call it a day on this one. Today, I will be on TikTok to have an extension conversation after work. So if you haven't found my page, look for it. And let's reconvene there this afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.